Wow. Wow. What's good, y'all? Back at it again with another reaction. If you're new to the channel, my name is Shadiq and you're not locked into KRXOVR Media. Really and truly, Bugzy Malone is low-key one of my favorite UK artists. He probably has some of my most replayed UK projects and all of that. He's so talented. Every time he drops something, it's guaranteed to be a movie in terms of the experience, in terms of the visuals, everything about it. So the fact that he drops songs so sparingly, it doesn't really bother me the way that it might for other artists, because I know every single time it's going to be something special. I see a lot of people talking about this one, and just judging by the title of the song, I think it's going to be one of those sentimental tracks. So I don't want to hold you out too much longer. Let's get it. This one is probably on his project. Also, I don't know why this is coming to mind, but I want to hear Bugsy and Gets. Oh, I know why. Because she was featured on Gets' project. So I want to hear Bugsy and Gets. I want to hear what they could do.
And I say welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood, welcome to the place where nothing ever ends up good. And they say that you're a disgrace if you can't find yourself a job. Around here there's either been a drought and then there's been a flood. No one ever built an ark for anybody from the block. Man are trying to ring the heavens but God never gets in touch. For certain people it's a must to come across as tough, because you don't want to be a victim when Berettas start to bust. And I say welcome to the...
I'm enjoying this already. I see what he's doing. As I said, every single time he drops something, it's going to be a movie. You're getting different people's perspectives. Pretty much they're all living simultaneously, so you're seeing what they're dealing with.
For anybody from the block, man are trying to ring the heavens but God never gets in touch. For certain people it's a must to come across as tough, because you don't want to be a victim when Berettas start to bust. And I say welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood where no one teaches you to love, because we're all products of lust. We learn to tell a lie before we even learn to trust, and then we see our people die as if the sorrow ain't enough. So and so killed so and so, I struggle to keep up. A victim of knife crime, they hit him in the lung. The press are making articles expressing their disgust, but where there's no opportunity, survival is a must. And I say welcome to the hood, welcome to the...
There's so much going on. Hold on, wasn't my man with
teaches you to love, because we're all products of lust. We learn to tell a lie before we even learn to trust, and then we see our people die as if the sorrow...
So if he was with him, why is he surprised? I don't know.
So and so killed so and so, I struggle to keep up.
I guess he didn't want him to. He didn't want him to.
The press are making articles expressing their disgust, but where there's no opportunity, survival is a must. And I say welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood where boredom leads to depression, depression leads to drugs, and drugs numb the pain of all the fucked up stuff that you have to see when you're forced into growing up. Nobody's...
Yo, listen, this is why you gotta leave it to Bugsy. You gotta leave it to Bugsy to tell these kinds of stories, because he does it like nobody else. Not to say that nobody else should tell these kind of stories, but the way that he does it, he just... so many layers to it. He's really giving you... He's honestly giving you a little bit of like a sociology class in a way, in terms of talking about why people live the way that they do. Like talking about, obviously, you know, drug abuse, substance abuse is a result of what people are experiencing and how they cope with it, and the violence that people are experiencing and perpetuating as a result of it as well. It's low-key just sociology.
Welcome to the hood where boredom leads to depression, depression leads to drugs, and drugs numb the pain of all the fucked up stuff that you have to see when you're forced into growing up. Yep. Nobody's responsible, everybody's corrupt, and school's a waste of time because we're learning out of books. And when you're academic, you get taken for a mug, because mathematics won't help when you're in a puddle of blood. And I said,
wow. Pretty much saying that like they don't respect education at the end of the day, and when it comes that time, you feel me, like your degree ain't gonna defend you. So I respect it, but I get it.
Nobody's responsible, everybody's corrupt.
I get it.
School's a waste of time because we're learning out of books. And when you're academic, you get taken for a mug, because mathematics won't help when you're in a puddle of blood. And I said, welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood. Feels like the only thing that ever sells is the dust. We try and keep it clean, but the stress built up and it was all a dream until Biggie got shot.
Wow. Wow. Just like the build up, it got very suspenseful, and then it just died. Wow.
To the hood, feels like the only thing that ever sells is the dust. We try and keep it clean, but the stress built up and it was all a dream until Biggie got shot.
And just
welcome to the place that I call home. Be careful, it don't turn your heart to stone. Welcome to the war I'm battling. You live or you die, you lose or you win.
And I say welcome to the hood, welcome welcome to the hood. The person they call mental health is the person that we call mum. We either don't have a dad or we have more than one, and we're told to fly the nest before we even learn to run. You don't have to be a...
That's real rap, yo. It sucks that especially in low socioeconomic communities, right? The fact that that's what people got to deal with. Like, once you reach a certain age, you got to start providing, you got to start bringing back home. So it's like, and either that or we just got to dip. So it sucks, but I think it also has to reach a point where we have to start realizing that the reason why certain people are wealthy is because they don't kick their children out. They give them a chance to stay, build themselves up and everything. They get to accumulate their own wealth and all that stuff. You feel me? So there's so many layers to this, yo.
Welcome to the hood.
So many
the person
layers.
they call mental health is the person that we call mum. We either don't have a dad or we have more than one, and we're told to fly the nest before we even learn to run. You don't have to be a soldier here to hold a gun, and watching other people suffer is what we consider fun, cause suffering is stand.
Watch other... It's crazy because this has been a conversation that's been happening around like these drill pages and everything. Like, they treat the things that are happening as a game, like all the scoreboard stuff, posting people business, making the Fed's jobs easier. It's like, it's fun. Like, it's a game of flipping Call of Duty or something. So yeah, I get it.
A soldier here to hold a gun, and watching other people suffer is what we consider fun, cause suffering is standard. You'll have to toughen up. At least that's what your mother tells you when she's fully drunk. People steal for a living and end up in the can. It's miles easier in jail, but you will understand, being a criminal is not part of the plan. But how are you supposed to work when nobody will take you on? So I say welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood.
There's so many things being like I said, this is high key a sociology class. Like, he is essentially giving you so many different aspects of social theory and everything in a 4-minute song, almost 5 minutes, yo.
It's easier in jail, but you will understand, being a criminal is not part of the plan. But how are you supposed to work when nobody will take you on? So I say welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood. Depression and anxiety get swept under the rug. These gangsters in your family, welcome to the club, because there's plenty.
Yeah, they get swept, and not only do they get swept under the rug by the people who are experiencing it, but we also tend to sweep under the rug the ways in which that it does end up coming out. So a lot of the music that we hear right now, in its own way, right, it's a reflection of people's mental health. It's also, I don't want to say cries for help, but it's also how people are coping with their mental health as well. So yeah, it gets swept under the rug in the sense that, especially drill, like, people don't acknowledge it for what it really is beyond the surface stuff. On the surface stuff, alright, cool, yeah, it's the music talking about whatever. But when you really peel it back, it's like, this is how people are coping with their experiences. So if they weren't experiencing it, they wouldn't have these things to say in the first place. So it's, and then on top of that, again, the people who are dealing with it, they don't necessarily know how to overtly deal with it, so they're sweeping it under the rug in their own way too.
When nobody will take you on, so I say welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood. Depression and anxiety get swept under the rug. These gangsters in your family, welcome to the club, because there's plenty of gangsters in a city full of thugs. Being born into the politics of poverty is rough. You can look down your nose off, but only God can judge. Most of us are afraid to pray to the above, cause Pax said there ain't no heaven for a thug. Welcome to the hood, welcome to the hood, welcome to the place where nothing ever ends up good. And they say they give you disgrace if you can't find yourself a job around here. There's either been a drought, then there's been a flood.
Welcome to the place that I call home.
This is fire. And the drums, like, this sounds like, and I could be wrong, but it sounds like these were like live recorded drums. Like, this wasn't like, you know, a producer who had a kit and everything. It sounds like they really went into a studio and they recorded this.
Heart to stone. Welcome to the world better live. You live where you die, you lose or you win. They say there ain't no heaven for a thug. Seems like my good ain't ever good enough. Feels like I'm running out of love. You live or you die, you lose or you win. They say there ain't no heaven.
I had a feeling that the beat change was gonna come. You know, I don't know how I feel about the beat change. I like it musically, but it's like, with what's going on screen and what they're talking about, it's like, it's kind of clashing. I like it musically, obviously, I love it, but it's just, it's kind of hard for me to take it in the way that I might if it was no different content matter. But I like it though.
Feels like I'm running out of love. You live or you die, you lose or you win. They say there ain't no heaven.
I had a feeling there was gonna be a beat switch too.
Seems like my good ain't ever good enough.
And what I'm enjoying about the visuals is how they're giving you different sides of the exact same story, right? They're showing you all these people living concurrently, right? And just like what life looks like through their lens, like when they're happy, when they're sad, when there's beef in the home, when there's beef on the streets. I like that. This is really what it looks like. Wow. Because that's really what it looks like. I'm not gonna lie, Bugsy is definitely among the best artists, and he's definitely gonna be among the most legendary artists out of the UK, especially like artists who kind of emerged in the 2000s. I think he's pretty much cementing himself at this point. So in this channel we hold the vows. That means we're gonna get straight into it, and I'm giving this one a 9. Now if I was keeping it 100, I might have given this song a 10. If I was just giving it a rating just to give it a rating, I might have given it a 10 just because this is one of those songs that I can't see myself just not giving a 10 in terms of what it was doing musically, what it represents, and what they're talking about, and the way that they address it. But because of the way that I break everything down, I do think that I agree with the 9 still though. The flows weren't that extravagant. It was pretty standard Bugsy. It did what it had to do, but there wasn't anything wrong with it. But there wasn't anything flow-wise that was really, through the roof. So that's the main reason why it sits there. But then when it comes to the beat and the lyricism, that's where this song shines. I already said so much during the reaction itself. I don't want to drag this part out too much, but the way that they compose the beat, masterpiece. I have a small little internal conflict about the beat choice and the content because I do feel like the beat, it matched, but it's also a little bit bright. Like I don't know if I like this beat selection for this kind of content, but I don't know why. I don't know how to put it into words, but the beat in general overall was so good. If I'm right, those drums and everything was definitely recorded live out of straight like real instruments, so that added a whole other layer to the experience. But I do think that choosing this kind of beat, now that I'm thinking about it, it makes sense because you also don't want to have a super depressing song content wise and a hella depressing beat. That's not gonna make for a good time. But I think at the same time, now that I'm talking about it out loud, comparing the beat to the visuals, it made sense because even the visuals weren't just straight up depressing top to bottom. It had inklings of like just the real life moments. Like you saw the girls doing their hair. Like it didn't have to be the shit up violent, the shit up sad and all that stuff the whole way through. So I guess it makes sense in that regard because the song is about the hood, and the hood isn't always going to be straight up depressing. So I guess now that I'm thinking about it, that makes sense. But I think for me, the part that I loved the most was towards the end when the beat switched up a little bit. I had a feeling it was gonna happen. That tends to happen with songs like these, or if not, just straight up switching up. It has high and low moments. So I really did like how they put everything together towards the end. It was just the icing on the cake. And then again, lyrically, I touched on so much already during the reaction, but really and truly, we have to pay so much more attention to songs like these. These are the kind of songs where if you really wanted to, you could take this into like a college course, right? Or for y'all university, you could take this, not even, you can take this as any level course, right? That's studying sociology and human behavior and all these things, psychology even, right? You could take songs like this and dissect it to really see what it's like to have these kind of conversations without the jargon, without all like the extra kind of like institutional kind of language around it. Just straight up real rap. Like, why are we living like this? Like, why do we feel these ways? Like, why are we doing these things? Like, what are the things that we're experiencing that tie in all of these emotions? So this song, again, is one of those perfect examples of that. This also goes to show how these artists are very capable of giving very real social commentary as well. I can say that about Abs, Gets, like even Zone 2, they have their moments. If you listen deep enough, a lot of these artists, drill artists and not, but they have moments where they're giving you things like this. They're telling you about their lives. They're telling you about how they feel. Also even talking about how they may not necessarily know why they feel the way that they do, or why they do what they do, or how they're kind of trapped in that. There's so many different layers to it. We can go on and on forever. So I just want to commend Bugsy for taking this approach. Now the main reason why this one didn't get a super high score for replay value is because this is one of those I had to listen to it within a project. I don't think I would open Spotify and play this. It's not to say that it's bad, but songs like these, you either gotta really be in a particular mood, it has to be in a playlist that you kind of want to be in a mood to listen to, or you have to be listening to a project. But the other reason why I give this one an 8 too is because it makes me want to play a project. Like this one sounds like something that, again, as I always say in these kinds of videos, right, if it has the right song before and after it, it probably makes so much more sense. Whether it be an outro, maybe kind of around the interlude. I don't know, this could probably fit around so many different places, but that's the main reason why. Like, the energy around this, like, I don't want to be taken into the space all the time. But at the same time, it's also kind of strange because a song like, for example, Welcome to Prison by 1-4, I rinsed that song and it's similar content, so I don't really know exactly why. I just don't, you know what I mean? So let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Do you think I'm making sense? Like, does that resonate with you? You know, how do you feel about the song in general? How do you feel about the songs from Bugsy that we've heard so far? You know what I mean? Do you think that what I said towards the end of the reaction itself made sense, that Bugsy is definitely gearing himself up to become a legend? Let me know what y'all think. But again, I think I've said enough, so as always, hang tight for some more reactions. I do got more that's coming for y'all, but until next time, peace.